Dear friends, the world is in a big turmoil. The United States of America, under the so called dynamic stewardship of its present president, Donald Trump, is witnessing a spurt of activities with regard to international trade tariffs. Over the last 6 weeks or so, we have witnessed lots of such pronouncements and statements from the US administration regarding tariffs to be imposed on various countries for their various products or even selective products. As regards India, they have announced a 25% plus 25%, 50% tariff on gems and jewelry, on engineering goods, including electronics goods, and other items, excepting pharmaceutical products. A lot of people are conducting researches and various types of analysis to predict the outcome of these tariffs in the medium term and longer term. Here, I would like to present to you my analysis, which is of a rather different kind. Let me tell you that after watching international trade over the last 3 decades and even visiting many countries, after observing their costs of production, costs of labor vis-a-vis India, I have come to one big conclusion, and that is the cost of production and the cost of labor in India is probably the lowest in the world, but definitely lower than its competitor countries like China or other Far East Asian countries or South Asian countries. Quality wise, compared to these countries, none can beat India. Given this situation, a 25% tariff on Indian products and another 25% penalty on those products is not going to have any adverse effect, short term, medium term, or long term, on the export of these goods to USA. So the matter is all political, the matter is all shady, the matter is all very, very, should I say, clumsy? Yes, probably it is. There are a lot of hidden intrigues and machinations involved in this. On the medium term or the longer term, these types of tariffs tend to stabilize and get stable and smooth after a certain time period. International trade is very dynamic. It is not controllable by one or two leveraging factors. There are many other factors that impinge on it, that control it in the medium to longer term. Now, pharma products in India are manufactured out of APIs which are imported largely from China and at very, very competitive, very low prices. The Indian pharmaceutical industry is based on bulk cheap imports of active pharmaceutical ingredients or APIs from China, and then lowest, most cost competitive working or operation on those APIs to produce generic pharma products. And so far, the 34 crore population of USA has been benefiting from these cheapest imports of these drugs from India. Do you think if some drugs cost $100 and their price gets jacked to $150, will Indian products be thrown out of the market? This is not likely to happen. This is because of the fact that at least 15%, 20%, 25% tariffs have been imposed on other competitor countries also. But then India is already price competitive by a huge margin, probably 25 or 30% or more than that. And Indian pharma companies exporting these products to USA are sitting on heaps of money, heaps of cash accumulated through very profitable trade. So never mind, Fox, these things. These are more political than commercial. These are more strategic than based on business principles or business fundamentals. Business is dynamic. Business depends on so many factors apart from the few political or strategic factors that are being observed here and now. So, no worries, Fox. Things are going to stabilize, things are going to improve, and most importantly, wait and see. The politics that is being displayed through the threats of these tariffs is also half shallow, half superficial, and half genuine. These are threats, and threats do not carry much weight behind them. These are not weighty threats. These are intimidatory threats. And threat is by nature intimidatory. So we have not much reason to worry. Only thing is, we should put counter tariffs on the USA exports to India. And today, with India also having lots of technologies and technological operations within it, we have got a wide choice of exporters in foreign countries for the products that we need. We have got Airbus as an alternative to Boeing. We have got so many sources of oil. We don't have to depend on the costly oils of USA. There is Venezuela. Russia is already there. There are African countries like Nigeria. There are Middle East countries, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran. So oil is not a problem at all. And come to talk of Russian oil, importing Russian oil will continue. It will continue smoothly, uninterruptedly. The threats are going to die down. It will be a matter of days or maybe very few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before this happens actually. And this is going to happen. These threats, these intimidations, and these hollow outbursts of frustrated politicians are going to die, are going to peter out within a few days. Trade is dynamic in the sense that many things in trade are unpredictable. You know, life is so unpredictable. You never know what will happen tomorrow. Unknown things emerge. Unpredictable happenings necessitate the reorientation and reformulation of trade policies and strategies. So, since the future is inherently and naturally unpredictable, one must view logically things, and based on logical analysis and observation, take the next foot forward intelligently, smartly, and fearlessly. There should be no fear, one should be fearless. And our Indian government is taking bold steps, is displaying fearlessness, and is also displaying good strategy. So we have not to worry about it at all. The consequences, the repercussions are not going to be adverse as is being thought by some very, very pessimistic people. I should say these people are not only pessimistic but also not very nationalistic. So let's be nationalistic, let's be optimistic, let's be analytical, and let's be logical. Let's not worry and take our firm foot forward with the hope that India will emerge the business leader of the future earlier than we have declared. It may be earlier than 2047. India is poised to become the global leader, and no powers can stop it from becoming so.